車の街佇む光願いがにじむ一度きりでもあなたに触れられたらもう何もいらない違和感もし許されるのなら命に宿る無数の夢たとえ全て幻想でも歪んだどこに蝕まれた孤独の果てでやるせない切なさも消えない痛みも眼差しで抱きしめてそっと永遠にガラスの涙粒が音もなく砕け散る世界が愛しいといつか言えるその日までどうか定めの糸が強く弱く引き合うたび惹かれ合って近くて遠い想いはまた空へと浮かぶさまよってる感情に答えがなくても信じたいいつの日かきっと舞い上がれどこまでも遠く高くとても So I can love so I can feel you
Okay, there we go, Mute, there we go, mic is working now. Thank you so much for letting me know. Hi Riri, hello Snob, and thank you for the alert, Kurama. I blame the Windows update that was forced on my PC like 2 nights ago, because everything was fine before that and I absolutely did not change any settings, but at least that was a very easy fix. But happy Friday night! I hope everybody's doing well. It's good to see you here. I was being slow getting into stream. That's fine. Oh my god. Remy is 95% weighted juice. Oh my god. My guys, we are gonna be juicing Remy so soon. That rat's ass is grass. I can't wait. Juice that rat! I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun to juice Remy Ratatouille. I think it'll be really magical. It'll be something really special. And I can't wait to get into it. Oh my gosh. You can see how disorganized I am tonight. I realized I forgot to even change game title. There we go. There we go. Great Ace Attorney. There. We are good. We are Gucci. We are ready. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we're getting back into more Ace Attorney tonight. Let me switch over. And yeah, let me just... Feel free to let me know if game audio was too loud, too quiet, anything like that. I should have known that I would have to mess with my mic settings because I had to mess with the game's audio settings before starting stream. I thought it was my capture card fighting me again, but no, it wasn't. It was just OBS fighting me, probably because of the Windows update. I'm glad I decided not to update OBS like it prompted me to do before stream. I was like, let's not update right before stream because that sounds like things might break. You know how it is. Updates are horrible and they should never happen. That is my strong opinion. Alright, yes, we're getting into episode 2 of the Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. I believe this is another Soseki-based case from what it sounds like. He was going to tell us something he remembered. So we're going to get back into that and find out what it could have possibly been. Did he have more awful times in London? That'd be kind of funny. Wow.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night.
Aw shit, she dead for sure.
One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road. As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind
she wasn't
had
dead.
been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight
Oh, Soseki.
than in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night.
Oh boy. Oh
I dare
shit.
say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day.
Oh shit.
Haunted apartment of death. The condemned criminal's curse. The dread demon of coal gas.
Coal gas.
Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene,
Oh, as Sholmes does, always.
it only proved to be the overture that announced the rising
shit.
of the curtain on a most tragic play.
Is that the fucking fancy-ass dude from that case in the last game who never showed up again? 'Cause I was always wondering what happened to that guy. Alright, my name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer, just starting out on my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law, having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective. Yeah! Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy of sorts. I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey. But since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I've lost my right to return. But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale. A tale which was now about to awaken from slumber. Thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. Who wrote to us? Oh. You hungry, bitch? What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. It must be nearly time for breakfast. I'd better go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. Aw. Iris, what you cooking? So it's the 30th of August at 7:28 a.m. at Sholmes' suite. Ah, Bruno, good! I was just about to call up to you. The bacon's ready. Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. Before we eat, though, I have some news. I had a surprise this morning. Shh! Not another word, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, Sholmes, what is it now? What is it this time? This could just be the abstruse thing from my pre-breakfast stagnation-repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, yes, I see. So that's it. Oh, why is he so close? Oh. Personal bubble, dude. The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. What are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo, you have this very morning met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you've neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? But of course. Though I don't look for admiration, you understand. My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Oh, it has. And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you.
Hurley pulled your button off? For what reason?
Ah, yes, I recall the incident now. It was supper, was it not? As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began playing the wailing notes of a haunting tune.
God, this dude.
But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why? Little wonder, then, that in my vexation, I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. Oh my god, did Brunowski just have the bad luck of happening to be standing there? The poor guy. And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes. It's me when somebody asks where something in my room is. Helpful. What matters at present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring.
But Hurley, Bruno said it when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning. Great detective.
Well, that really is a surprise.
God, this dude.
Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire, the famous consulting detective Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name.
Alright then, enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it gets cold. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too, my latest special blend. Ooh, I love Iris, she's so cute.
And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. A truly exceptional young girl who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, as published in Rance magazine.
Good for her.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, when do you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Well, I received a letter from Japan.
Got a letter. Oh, from Susie, you mean? Was it really?
That's right, and she had some rather startling news, in fact. Oh boy. Intriguing indeed. You must tell us about it all over breakfast.
Oh yes, what fun! Adia, hello! Good to see you. How are you doing today? I hope you had a good week and are looking forward to your weekend. I assume that's coming up soon. Let's see, let's talk to Sholmes about Miss Suzada's letter.
This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning by international post.
Oh, how lovely. Look at Susie's beautiful writing. I wish I could read it. I bet Suzado does have very, very pretty writing.
Like, there's something very attractive just about, like, especially considering how detailed Japanese kanji is. Seeing, like, it written very neatly and beautifully is always really appealing to look at. Oh, recovering from a cold? Well, I hope you feel better soon, Audia. That's rough. Aw, I'm sorry about that. Oh, I hope it isn't too bad. I know there's some awful colds and stuff going around right now. I'm doing my best to avoid them too, but sometimes you just can't help it. That's hard. Definitely drink lots of fluids, rest, have plenty of vitamins. I always enjoy some orange juice, some nice orange juice when I have a cold. It helps so much. And how's your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case. Yeah, good job, Susato. Oh, really? Oh, isn't she wonderful? I love how much everyone loves Susato. A cut above your good self, my dear fellow. I've won cases too, you know. Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared in the trial as a witness. Natsume. No, I don't recall that name. Dude, you got him arrested! Of course you do. We helped the man twice. You know, in those 2 cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago. Ah, the mustached, twitchy man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache. Why do you say the mustache twice? He didn't have 2 mustaches, Hurley. Thank you, Iris. Yes, who could forget those 2 cases? They made a very deep impression on me. No, I think you forgot them, you fucking dumbass. I love you so much. Although I must confess, the details are a little hazy now. Are we gonna do a flashback case? A very deep impression they made on you, clearly. Alright, startling news. What startled you, Ryunosuke? So, what was this startling news penned by Miss Susato? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes? Sounds spooky. Oh yes, it's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. Oh, you have to head out. Thank you for stopping by, Riri. It was good to see you. Here's hoping that Remy's all juiced, well, all ready to be juiced by next stream. I'm praying for it. I'm manifesting it for you. You deserve it. Have a good night. Talk to you later. He's totally forgotten then. Anyway, in her letter, Miss Susato asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further. Though it took place half a year ago. For what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. It's mysterious, spooky. Oh? On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Miss Susato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram. Oh, that case, yes! It was very strange, wasn't it? Yes. And I had compiled the whole story into a nice neat manuscript ready for publication too. But then Hurley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. That story must not be published, you said. Very mysteriously as well. Really? I said that. Are you sure? I mean, that's not the first time you've said it, bitch. I know you know more than you're letting on, Sholmes. Do you perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? About why Miss Susato was suddenly told 4 months ago that she had to return to Japan. Oh boy. Let's continue the conversation. It's been 4 months now since we waved Susie off at Dover. That's a long time. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced she had to go back to Japan. Indeed it was. Due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right, telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father had passed away. No, it just said he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead! Dreamy, hello, it's good to see you! I know my chat is not very busy at the moment, but I'm gonna give you a proper shout out anyways. How are you doing, Dreamy? How are you feeling after last night, enjoying plenty of Shadowbringers with Trevor? How have you been doing today? It's good to see you. Dreamy's a very wonderful streamer who plays plenty of my favorite game, Final Fantasy XIV. She deserves all your attention and love. Always. And Ash, hello! Nice to see you! Welcome to the stream! I hope you're doing well today! Welcome! Please get comfy and settle in! Oh, you're in your hometown today, so you're just vibing? I hope you're enjoying being back in your hometown. That's so nice. Hope it's comfy, hope the trip was okay. I know holiday weekends can be quite busy, can't they? I wouldn't be surprised if that's why tonight's a lot quieter than usual. I'm sure plenty of people have been doing, you know, their Thanksgiving weekends. Ooh, I hope everybody's been able to enjoy theirs, been able to eat lots and spend it with good people. And even if you can't, I hope that, you know, it passes by quick if it's not a happy holiday for you. Right, but according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse. A ruse! So Susie's daddy lied to her so that she'd make the voyage back home. Please never call him daddy again. Why would he do that? I have to admit, I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. Oh my god. Yuzuki, thank you for the 4,000 channel points to juice Remy Ratatouille. Oh my god, we're so close. We're so close. No! Oh my god. Thanks for the wig redeem, Yuzuki. God damn it. God damn it. No, I have to be like this now. I can't believe you do this to me. Why? Why? Fuck you. Fuck you, Yuzuki. Fuck you. Everyone go follow Yuzuki. Fuck you. Here we go. Yuzuki's a very good streamer and good friend of mine. Apparently you were. Yeah, I was sitting there, I was like, when did she last play Final Fantasy XIV? And I didn't hear about it. But if Twitch says so, I guess. I know, my wig! No, I'm bald, I'm cold, it's the winter time, my head's uncovered. No! But you're welcome, Yuzuki, anytime. It's always deserved. I'm excited for Yuzuki to get back to her Lobotomy Corporation playthrough tomorrow. There's a fire... Okay, true. True. But still. Listen. It's the principle of it. It's the principle of being wigless, you know what I mean? It's about, you know, the morals, the objectivity. There's a lot to consider about it. But I hope you're doing well tonight. I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. It's good to see you guys. You considered before you used your 3K? Oh my god. You considered and you still went through with it? Unbelievable. Heartless. Absolutely heartless. I can't talk because I'm cold and bald. Heartless. Oh shit! Community challenge complete! Thank you guys so much! It won't be happening tonight, but hopefully tomorrow. I think, yeah, I'll prepare for tomorrow night. My stream tomorrow night. We will juice Remy the Rat. His time is at an end. So, I hope you all are looking forward to that. He will go into the blender. Thank you so much, Dreamy and Yuzuki. I appreciate that. It's very fun. It'll be a good event. God. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. Yeah. Oh. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder what Miss Susato's father is hiding. You like my forehead tattoo? Thank you. It was a special gift from my rigger. Tattooed on there with love. Hurley, do you know what it's all about? Someone told you should get that hat for your VTuber since you're addicted to ocean fishing. You should! It would probably be a super easy, like, asset to add in VTube Studio or anything. It would be super worth it. I think it would be so funny. Oh well, who can say? What? But you said... Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. He's avoiding question. He's avoiding an astringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man the fort in my absence, won't you, Iris? Right? He's so hot and he's so stupid. I can't stand him. And hello, Freya! Welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? I guess we gotta do this again. We gotta give Freya Rabbit a shout out. Oh my gosh. How are you doing, Freya? You were last playing Kukuro. Oh, right, because you had your Just Chatting stream. I remember now. But oh, thank God, I don't have to be bald anymore. I did it. I did the 3 minutes. Hair's back. Wig is back. Oh, he's such a himbo. He's so stupid. He's so stupid. Listen, I know it is. Oh, thank you for the Thirsty Redeem, Freya. It's just, you know, you gotta make it meaningful. You can't drag it out. You know? It's gotta have meaning. You know? Short and sweet. I will, Hurley, don't worry. See you later. God, he's so stupid. But how are you doing tonight, Freya? It's good to see you. He scuttled off rather quickly there because he's avoiding the question. He knows something. I think perhaps Professor Mikotoba isn't the only person hiding something here. Yeah. Soseki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. By, of all people, Mr. Sholmes. There was that other story in the first game that he didn't want to be published, and we never found out what that story was actually about, which is concerning. Uh-huh! I found them at last. Iris, are they... The notes about the case? That's right. Susie and I compiled them together. Useful. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Runo? Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case. But perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light. Yay, flashback case! That's the spirit. Oh, I'm curious what this one will be. And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and the fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail. I just need to find a clue, and I have all the time in the world. Because of course, I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. What did you do, Runosuke? Holy shit, what happened? Why aren't you allowed to practice court anymore? It was 6 months ago. A mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. Right, this was the one we did in the last game. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement of Briar Road with a knife in her back. Banned from court! No! Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. You will lurk for a bit, but you'll return to clear the sun's name? Alright, have a good lurk, Yuzuki. See you later. And hello, Micah. I'm good. How are you? Nice to see you. I hope you're enjoying your Thanksgiving weekend, assuming you're in the US. The fog was thick, and nobody saw her attack her, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. There he is! That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. All good, but in the Commonwealth of Prismaria, the part of it where I live in, we do not celebrate Thanksgiving on this weekend, so I'm just having a normal weekend. But it's a good weekend nonetheless. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocent. Yeah, Freya, how many feet did you get? Joyful choice, jubilant jubilation, was the man's reaction after the trial. But his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. Freya, you can't pretend you don't know what feet are. Don't lie to me in my chat. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bart's at once. Yeah, I remember all this. So Suzato-san and I summoned a hansom and headed immediately to the hospital. Yeah, Freya doesn't know what feet are because she actually has horse hooves. Those are her hooves, you bitch. Same, I'm like Freya, but she's got hooves. I think that's so funny. Alright, we're in St. Bartholomew's Hospital, the recovery ward. There you are at last. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not. Oh! You're late. What on earth took you so long? Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes, and it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital. Rat! Look, rat! There's a rat next to my head! Remy! That's right, it's 5:30 now. I think we made a very good time. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I've been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. There he is, a celebrity! In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy, and feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. He's such an ass, I love him. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. Merry Christmas. Oh, there she is. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. God, so that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with the knife in her back. Her name is, yes, here we are, Miss Green. Alright, I guess I'm gonna take a look at some of the stuff around here. This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it? I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe, used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses. Really? It's not exactly what you'd call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it? No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before. Listen, she's practicing. Being able to draw multiple body types is important. Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. Let's see. What about this photograph? Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Oh, who's this? Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think? I don't know, they look kind of alike. Maybe a sibling? My, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart. Well, that's kind of a backhanded compliment, huh? Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Let's see, anything else interesting to examine here? Oh yes, her medical chart. Let's see what this says. This looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place, a zoo? You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park. For the pigeons, yes. This is a person. Poor woman, I hope she hasn't read this. Yeah, that's kind of mean. Let's see, what about all this medication? There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that? I was wondering that too. I was like, oh, a patient would just like grab some, yeah. If you were a patient here, I feel sure you'd take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep. Let's see, on the bed, that is Miss Green. She was the victim of a stabbing in a case in the previous game. So we've kind of flashed back to right after that case when she like regained consciousness because she was comatose for a couple of days after that stabbing. But we did solve the case, but somehow this is going to connect to the new plotline going on in the new game, and I'm very curious how. That is a worry, but at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one. Oh, that's better than I expected, at least. Oh, I've no doubt you'd manage to unlock that somehow when you were half asleep as well. There are limits to even what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Miss Susato. No, Yunosuke, you can do anything. Can we examine the rat? Rat! Fuck! No, move up a little. Rat! A mouse, Mr. Naruhodo, an enormous mouse! Vermin in a hospital? That doesn't seem the best. But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump. I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you were thinking. I love the rat, too. Oh my god. How about her bag? That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though. I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her. It's the rat from the first game! Alright then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and... No, Mr. Naruhodo, you must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings. But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. Oh my gosh, Yunosuke, rude! Let's see, anything else of note? What was... this looks like the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital. The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so... Here she is probably running around the hospital then. Uh-oh. Oh dear. How worrying. What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. Man. Let's see. There are all sorts of medicines in this cabinet. Look. I'm not sure if it's... is this gonna be the same? Yes, oh yeah, it's different. I can imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle or two. Well, at least there seems to be a little lock to secure the cabinet doors. I don't imagine that would stop you if you were hungry. I worry that you'd break the lock. Hunger doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know, Miss Susato. Cute. Alright. Let's talk to Miss Green now. Good morning. Aww. Hello, I'm, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, from the Empire of Japan. Oh no! Was it your knife that... Are you the man who... No. I'm a lawyer. And I'm Susato Mikotoba. Pleased to meet you. I like the idea that we would let the person who stabbed her in. Dick, hello! How are you doing? It's good to see you! What's up? How have you been? Oh no! Was it your knife then? Are you the one? No, I assure you, I'm just Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. So basically, to explain how Susato's in Britain, we are flashing back to before she left Britain. This is just after that one case with the fighting married couple and the lady who got stabbed. We're talking to the lady who got stabbed after she woke up from her coma. We don't know exactly how this is going to tie in, but yeah, we're basically doing this case in a flashback, I guess. Which is interesting. I'm curious how that'll all kind of work out. Yeah, it is kind of confusing if you don't know, so thank you for asking. I'm happy to explain. We heard that you'd regained consciousness and wanted to come give you our best wishes. Best wishes for me? Thank you. Yeah, this is between two trials, which is kind of funny that, like, that means in the first game there was another trial that just nobody talked about until now. But it's like, okay, whatever, I guess we'll go along with it. We'll see how this turns out. I'm Olive Green. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is I'm trying to be an artist. Oh, are you a student? Well, what I really mean is I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. Aww. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back. I don't think those correlate. I don't think those have anything to do with one another. I don't think that's related, actually. Once again, I'm Ryunosuke. Are we certain that there's going to be a trial at this point in time, or is this going to be a setup for a case that happens in the present? When the characters talked about this case in past tense, they did mention that there was a trial, so I'm assuming so. I'm at least guessing. We'll see. It would be interesting if this somehow played into a trial that happened in the present, though. That'd be kind of neat. Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down. Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. All right. Tell us about the incident. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green. It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick. I couldn't see a thing. Well, it's interesting that she's got this key that she keeps holding in that one expression. Yeah. I would like some hot chocolate, Freya. Are you delivering some to me? You better be or I'll be mad. But yeah, at most the trials kind of like had, you know, a couple of months between them. But you always kind of assume like, okay, nothing really happened in that like couple of months or weeks or whatever between trials. So, but it's like, I guess it makes sense there could have been more, but it's interesting. You're on your way? Good. Hurry, bitch. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. Ah, my dragon! It slipped! I need to be better at holding these things, I swear. I need to, like, put on the little wrist straps, but I never do. Alright, Freya's running. She's getting her exercise in. Good, good, good. She needs to stay healthy. But the case has been resolved, hasn't it? Well, I've been here in the hospital, I mean. Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly by none other than I, Herlock Sholmes. You didn't do anything! Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in court that solved the case. If anything, Sholmes, you made it worse. Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly. Oh, I see. Me coming round seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was selfish of me. Oh no! We're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. We are. She has no self-esteem. With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. Ryunosuke, you're so punny. Tell us about yourself, Miss Green. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no! Oh, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts! Great Britain is such a wonderful country! Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts? Oh no, actually. Yeah, she did apologize for being in a coma, and she apologized for waking up from it. I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road. I see. How very interesting. Oh no, is it? Heidenreich, hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yes, the barking queen's on a loose. Oh, thank God, Sholmes is on screen. I can bark. Bark, 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 ruff, 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 ruff. There we go. Got some barking in. Hope you guys liked that. Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here. I'm emulating like the most annoying yappy little dog I can imagine. Yeah, I'm not a dog, but I bark for Sholmes. I bark so much for Grahatia. Bark, 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 bark. God, I love Grahatia. I love him so much. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? No, Freya can't stop me. She can never stop me. Creatura. Yeah, just like that dog. Perfect. Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, voted in by those of inferior means. Yeah, Freya encourages it. No, Grahatia does not have 4 nipples. He has 2. He has 2, and yes, that is the cutie Adia. Including the maleficent Mr. Mustache. Inferior means? I suppose Sasaki-san does fit the bill. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine art student to be walking in such a district. That's all. Interesting. Why were you there? What's this? She suddenly clammed up. You're aware? Good. Very good. The next time we stream Final Fantasy XIV on Freya's channel on Monday, I'm gonna bark up a storm. Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself prying into a young maiden's private affairs. Oh dear me, do forgive me. Doombox, hello, good to see you, how are you doing? Nice to see you here. Freya, you'll bark with me? Good, you better. Group bark session. Okay? It's a deal. If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things. Group howl. Ooh! Ah, ah, ooh. I hope you all allude with me. Victory screech. Group howl. Thank you for the fit stick. Love a good group howl. It is, you know, it's very important. It's very, very important. Oh yes, of course, we won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. I love group howls, they're so good. Oh my god, I love that you have a howl emote. That's so good. Oh my god. That's so good. Oh, thank you for the thirsty redeemed Doombox. Let me have some of the water. Hi, Mr. No Legs. Welcome to the stream. I don't know what you expected from me. That's just how I am, you know? That's just what it likes. We howl here, we bark here, we edge here. You know? It's just how it be. It's normal stuff. It's very normal. I'm a very normal person. I'm very well adjusted, and I fit into normal human society very well. Is there a Mr. Narrow Fodder here? Mr. Narrow Fodder! Yeah, we were howling. It was a group howl. It was a bonding experience. We all are closer as friends for it. Yeah, you should know better than to be surprised. Exactly. You know, it's just how it is. Just how it is. You know? It's as natural as Grahatia dancing down here. Yes, friends! We evenly distributed the wealth of howling. Marx would be so proud. This is what he was talking about, you know? This is what he always meant. We're bringing his dream one step closer to reality. Everyone say thanks, Karl Marx. Narrow Fodder now? Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but... Ah, Mr. Narrow Fodder, good. This is for you. It's a message from a Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg. Mr. Nutsmeg sent a message to me. God, this policeman. But why do policemen be delivering a message from Mr. Nutsmeg? Yeah, thanks, Karl Marx. Thank you, Dick, for saying it too. I am sure, but whatever the opposite of rolling in your grave is, he's doing that right now. I don't know what the opposite is. I'm guessing that in Japanese, maybe they do have him say, like, you know, something in English that sounds similar enough. Man, exactly. What's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? Oh, what are you waiting for? Let me see that. Sholmes, fuck off. Oh, just grabbed it out of our hands, didn't he? Whoa, this is most unexpected. Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says. Have you not seen this note? No, you took it from me, bitch. Essie, hi, how are you doing, Essie? Let me give Essie a shout out, my good friend, Eskio pal. Oh my gosh, and my favorite sandwich I'm a basic bitch. I really like ham and mustard and cheese sandwiches. They're so yummy. Carlmox is doing loops, which is the opposite of rolling because it is cool. Oh my god, you're so right. You're so right. Loops are what Sonic does, which means they're super cool. You're so right, Dig. You get it. You get it. You're so smart. Jarell, hello. How are you doing, Jarell? It's good to see you. What is up? You know, I don't think I can do the Twitch shout out, but I'll give Jarell a shout out as well, because this Sunday night I am going to be doing a collab with Jarell on their channel. So please look forward to that. We'll be doing some Roller Coaster Tycoon multiplayer. That will be very fun. Anyways, Shelms is mad that we have not seen the note that he took out of our hands before we could look at it. Oh, thank you for the La Creatura redeem. Let me grab him. Oh my god, look at me searching. Look at me using the search function. Freya could never. Yes, we reached the juice goal! So my next stream tomorrow night, we will juice Remy Ratatouille. You had this ham and cheese croissant sandwich once and a fig jam in it. It was absolutely astounding. Oh, that sounds so good! Ooh, that sounds so yummy. I would love to try that. That sounds so good, Essie. Oh my gosh. That sounds so yummy. Oh, now I'm hungry. I just had a huge dinner a little while ago and I'm hungry again. But I could always go for some ham and cheese sandwich. They're just so good. They're just so right. One day we will make, yeah, we gotta do it. That would be so fun. Let's do it. No, how could I have? It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once. Murder! Gasp! Call a cab. Time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. That will be entirely convenient. Convenient? What do you mean? It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings. Oh my god. Wait, what? I'll hail a farce at once. Oh my god. Poor Soseki's having the roughest time. It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now, the very next day, this guy's luck is awful. This poor guy, there's a murder at the man's own address. He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. That's what I was saying, Renouske. Or so it seemed to us at the time, but we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought. Oh boy. Oh boy, what are we gonna find? Still no attempted burglary, still only murder. Why bother going to court for burglary? Murder's where it's at. You know how it is, Dig. Oh shit! It's the fancy-ass dude! He's fucking dead! What on earth? A trespassing case! That'd be funny. Oh my, the gentleman is deceased without question. He's dead! Oh, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Murder? Oh! Mr. Natsume! Oh, why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday! I was finally home after 2 days of misery! And then I wake up the next day with this! No early bird should catch a worm like this! A worm without wiggle! Oh, he's just like me for real. I see you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. Ah! Not the horrible Herlock shows! Shoo! Shut up! Show yourself at the door! I never invited you! I'm sorry, we brought him here. We shouldn't have. Mr. Shums came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume. I am entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? It's kind of sexy of him. Oh, fuck Gregson. Alright, Spider-Man. Parker, get me a picture of Spider-Man. On my desk by tomorrow morning. You hear that, Parker? Here they are already. The busybodies. Oh, Inspector Gregson. What a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? It gives me heartburn every time I see your face to crime, Shums. I mean, I think the amount of fish and chips you eat would also give you the heartburn, but sure, let's blame Shums for it. I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. Every time I try and crack a joke, the game's gonna crack it too. I love that. Good morning, Inspector. This is the crime scene. Don't you go touching anything. Or good morning to you too, sunshine. Oh boy, look at all... Where do we even start? I guess with the body, it's the obvious spot. Oi! I said hands off. You're gonna mess up my crime scene. Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance. I know you're kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it. Someone's in a bad mood. There's certainly some bad air in here, isn't there? Alright, it sounds like I'd be better talk to the Inspector first and try to curry some favor. Alright, Gregson, what do you want? What do you want? So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. William Shanspeare. He was a lodger here. Shanspeare, God. So you can probably tell he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss, as it happens. Or just dead. Mr. Shanspeare. It was the landlord, old Mr. Gardev, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fellow didn't rise at his usual hour, so Gardev got worried and kicked the door down. But doesn't Mr. Gardev have a bad leg? Ah, yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking. Really? So Seki-san, he did a roundhouse kick. Chuck Norris level. You know how it be. The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. He'd even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. That's sad. Miserable life and a miserable end to it. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious, but I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the culprit. I mean, cohabiter. Gregson, you nearly said culprit there, didn't you? Oh dear, Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again. Again, no! It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he? I mean, yeah... Poor man, how unfortunate. Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fellow's been a goner that long. The body's still warm. Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could just bring myself to touch a dead body. That would freak me out. Let's see. What do you have to say, Soseki-san? What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences. So, the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room is just 1 story up, isn't it? Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose. So, did you know the victim? Were you friends? Not with that weirdo. Oh shit, he's freaking out a little. Oh, what you shaking for? What you shaking for? What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. But did he ever invite me to his room? Never! On my honor, I swear it. What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Kinda. When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking him to come. Through that inspector over there! Oh, fuck. What are you doing this time? Why are you... Fuck off. What the fuck? Why are you doing this? I'm gonna ignore you. Don't make me fucking look at him. Can't stand this. God, there's nothing else to fucking interact with but him. They're gonna force me. I love him, but I cannot stand him. What do you want, Sholmes? Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? You need only observe it to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating naturally. Oh god, you're so right, Dig. There's nothing natural about that pose. He is an attention whore. Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery? Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened. God. My goodness. He's just like you, for real, for real. Oh, Dig. Okay, so Dig also makes silly poses and climbs on the walls like a bug when he wants attention, I see. I've learned something new about him today. But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes? Are we gonna do a Sholmes deduction? Please, please, please tell me. Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. I don't know, it would be equal love and equal hatred, Dig. You've seen how I react to Sholmes. I love him, but God, I want to beat him over the head with a metal bat at the same time. At the present time, I have managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. Ah! Oh. Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow? No, don't mind me. Forget I was here. No, I think we should mind you. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Yeah, Dig's as normal as me. Nonsense! Ah. Alright, Mr. Natsume. Why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions? No, please, not pretend I'm not here! Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant! Thank you for the thirsty redeem, Mr. No Legs. Time for some wawa. Ah, thank you. That is very nice when I have to be Soseki-san because, God, the voice I gave him is a lot. Impossible to ignore. You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail. But Mr. No Legs, I say I'm normal. And you all know I'm normal. Everyone, you know I'm normal. I'm so normal. But of course, let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions, presented for your pleasure in 2 acts. We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. That emote is perfect. It's really good. It's really, really good. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time? So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. Let's go! I love these! The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Alright, topic 1. Cause of death. Please, Renosuke, don't give him any credit. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate, which contains, you will observe, looks like soap. 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. I can't believe I said that it looked like soap, and it was. I was like, I said that as a joke. Man's wearing pink, so will there be a cabbie killer? Maybe. Why is this soap set so purposefully upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. What the f- is he fucking shadowboxing? Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. Sir, this is a Wendy's. I can't stand it when he shadowboxes. He looks fucking ridiculous. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Hello, Snom. How are you doing? I hope you had a good lurk. I hope you enjoyed your leftovers. Were they Thanksgiving leftovers? Yes, the victim's life was claimed by the poison that had tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. What? What the fuck are you talking about, Sholmes? What the fuck is he talking about? I hate him! Ooh, ham, mashed potato, and stuffing? Aw, sounds yummy. Also, I love that pochita emote. It's so cute. It's so good. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that the death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. But why? Why would he want to eat candle wax, Dig? Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. The answer's self-evident? No, I need it explained. I can't do it. I won't accept it. Eliminate all other possibilities and what remains must be the truth. No! The man is fucking stupid. I mean, you're right, but God, why is he such a himbo? I can't stand him. He drives me actually fucking insane. I'm going to just fucking lose it and choke him out one of these days. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Yeah, never trust the British. Oh, Dig, you're right, he is cute. He'd like that. No! I mean, bark? Maybe. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the soul key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. God. And with that acrid aroma, my boobies, my massive fucking titties, my super stuffed milkies, my honker bonker doinky boinkies. Thank you for the bit, Stig. God. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end, in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the hereafter. Why, Bond? I have done nothing wrong. I'm so normal. I'm so normal. Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' great deduction. Oh no, you couldn't hear the blurb, Mercia? Oh no! Was nobody else able to hear it? It should just come through with my desktop audio. That's so strange. That is so strange. You heard it, Dig? Okay. Weird that Mercia couldn't. Huh. Weird. Oh, you had the stream too quiet, I see. Okay. Okay, as long as there's nothing wrong with the audio. There's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. You are disposed to identify in just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap? It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing. How extraordinary. In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past. Of course you fucking have, you dumbass. You've eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut. Oh my god. Why is he so dumb? And did it? Sir, this is a Wendy's! As I writhed in agony on the floor and split the contents of my stomach. Yes, I believe it did. My god! The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. I can't do this. I hate him. What's wrong with him? It had an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. Believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did. I don't know. If he's like the real Sherlock Holmes, maybe all his alcohol. There's something that troubles me as well, actually. Oh, what's that? It's Mr. Natsume. Ah! I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' deductions touched a nerve somehow. Nonsense! Oh, that clenched teeth episode didn't last. I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth. Yes, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it in at an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. Alright then, let's see what we can do. Yes, we must pick out the keywords in Mr. Sholmes' quite brilliant deductions, and discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place. Oh, Susato, you give him so much credit. And it was a clever phase. Ryunosuke is honestly a pretty clever guy. In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Sherlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular Act 1. Alright, here we go. Course correction, hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Okay, let's go through this and see if we can figure it out. Observation of the victim reveals to us the event that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Yeah, Ryunosuke dance incoming! I love his little dance. Alright, so, yes, Natsume is quivering a little there. Large dying plate with the soap. Oh my god, dig that emote. Okay, why is the soap set so purposefully? Did they, like, use it to clean his mouth off of whatever he actually ate? I don't know. Yeah, it's soap. It's soap. Sholmes thinks that this guy ate soap and died from it. And we have to correct this wonderful, stupid, annoying himbo's logic. Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something or about to eat something. Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I should prefer to use a fork than attempt to eat it with chopsticks. And of course, only half of the bar of soap is left on the plate. But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap. Okay, let's take a look around. Yeah, let's take a closer look at the fork. Dreamy, have you never had soap to eat? You know who has had soap to eat, Dreamy? Sholmes has. Sherlock Sholmes has. I suppose you'd eat soap with a fork, would you? I don't think it's a question of which implement you'd use. You shouldn't eat soap full stop. But then why? Why does the man have a fork in his hand? Oh dear, I understand your frustration, Mr. Naruhodo, but please don't take it out on me. The point is, if we decide the man used this fork to eat the soap, we wouldn't be changing Mr. Sholmes' deduction. So I really ought to consider some other clues. Let's see. Anything about the teacup? No eating soap here? Dig could tell you what soap tastes like? Yeah, tell us, Dig. You can drink it instead, basically the same experience? Okay, yeah, Dig would know all about it. I see. Thank you, Dig. Feel free to give us any more details to enlighten us more. I would appreciate it. Do you think he was drinking tea with his soap? The cup's empty, so there's no way of knowing. How about this for an idea? Perhaps the cup was full of water, and he was dissolving soap in it so he could gulp down as much as possible. Please remember that he may not actually have been the soap lover that he's been made out to be. Let's see. Anything else here we can find? We don't have oh, wait a second. What's this down here? No, I think you meant it non-hypothetically. I think you, for real, did it. Look, there's more soap on the floor here. Mr. Shamspear must really have loved the stuff. Let's not jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruhodo. Look closely at the soap. Do you see that it would fit together perfectly with the half bar on the table? What the? How can that be? I think that they are two halves of the same bar that broke apart. Alright. So I guess we would present this.
Take that!
Take that! Other piece of soap. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really. For no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. You just talked about how you ate soap yourself, Sholmes. I can't stand you. Hello, Craig. How are you doing? Nice to see you here. Have you ever... Oh, Craig's a fellow soap eater. Dig, you have comrades. You guys are peas in a pod. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. Snom, thank you so much for the resub! Thank you! I appreciate it very, very much. That's so kind of you. True, Mr. No Legs, that is different. He doesn't eat soap out of hunger, he eats it for fun. Oh, but thank you again, Snom. I appreciate that very much. That is so kind of you. No, tonight I'm the bully. Tonight I win, I'm on top. Everyone is below me. I'm queen. I'm queen of this stream. You guys can't hold your power over me anymore. I'm breaking free. I'm so strong. I'm so confident. Like, you can't do anything to me, Dig, to hurt me. I'll turn it all around on you. I'm gonna Uno reverse it no matter what. Good fucking luck. But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table. Yeah, you got something to say, Mercia? You got something to say? An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. God, I love Iron Mouse's emotes. She's so funny. Get to the van, we leave an aqua with these wins, and we going home. It's too bad. It's too late, Mr. No Legs. I've already slashed the tires. I've already slashed them. You never bully Mercia? I don't believe you. God, you wish it was doming. This is just humiliation. There's not even anything sexual about it. That's the worst part. Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument, then. Perhaps he's suggesting the man licked the soap rather than ate it. If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all. Oh my god, what is with this thick emote? God. Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it? Well, no. Let's think about... I want to double check. Can I look at this, like, stain on the table yet? No. Okay, I'm gonna make sure, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna be going with the teacup here. Yeah, that's the only thing here. That would make sense.
Take that!
Take that! Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Yeah, Dig is... Listen, anything that moves, Dig's on it. The man is incorrigible. He can't be stopped. His thirst knows no bounds. Even if it means drinking soap, he'll go for it, to quench it. Indeed, cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. Yeah, that makes way more sense. That was my first thought too when I saw the teacup knocked over. You've never drank soap to get with someone? Ain't that what you're doing right now? Come on, Dig. What if somebody really hot says they would only go out with you if you drank some soap? Would you not do it? Tell me the truth. And oh my god, that does look like Shones. The derp. In the scenario I'm painting, it would work. I'm not saying it would work for me, but just in the specific scenario I'm painting, this one hot person would agree to go on a date with you if you ate soap. Would you do it, Dig? Right. The next question, suicide or murder? Let's see, death occurred during the victim's last supper. Let's see, dine alone, single teacup. Alright. Ah, the western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It already featured heavily in our deductions so far. Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamsphere was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that, but what troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems. If it wouldn't work on me, what if it worked on Freya? What if it worked on Essie? Alright, time to find more clues. Man die alone. The fork. What the heck is this on the floor? Oh shit, wait, he's holding another teacup. I didn't even see that. It wouldn't work on Freya unless you had foot-scented soap. So true. When she goes in for a kiss, she wants your breath to smell like feet. It's like anything else, it ruins the mood for her, you know?
Take that!
You know? She just can't do it without that. Did the man dine and die alone? This other teacup suggests the answer. You could arrange that? Alright, Big, you have your answer. Yeah, man, he must have a tight grip on that mug. It's true. I guess especially if he was holding it tight and then carpal tunnel set in, it wouldn't be hard. Oh no, no, no. She doesn't want to, like, have her feet sucked. She wants to suck the feet, Dig. You fundamentally misunderstand her. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. Ah! In other words, there's a strong indication that at the victim's last supper, there was a guest present. But who? At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in this room last night, taking tea with the victim. What are you talking about? Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable! To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. He's sweating. Do you mean to say you know who exactly it was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Is the stream choppy for anyone else? Uh-oh. Let's see. Everything looks normal with my kilobytes per second in my CPU. Let me know if anybody else is Snot's having a choppy time. Oh man. Don't do this to me, Twitch. Please no. Please no, Twitch. I beg of you. I beg of you, do not be choppy. Oh. Yeah, my internet looks good. Let's see. Yeah, I'm connected. Yeah, I'm connected by Ethernet. So, should be fine. I'll keep going for now, but let me know if anybody else is having the stream be choppy. And I'll see. Okay, just Dig. Oh no, Dig, your internet. No! I guess maybe try refreshing the stream and see if that helps. It might be something on Dig's end. I know, but I worry. I want to make sure the stream's running smoothly, and I like to make sure. I don't want to be like, oh, it's your fault, and not even check if things are going wrong on my end, you know? Because that's kind of frustrating. I never like when, like, something's clearly going wrong for multiple people and the streamer just, like, without even checking, assumes it's not their fault. Okay, good. Good to know. Thank you, Mr. No Legs. I appreciate you letting me know. Thank you, guys. I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now. I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much soap. But the identity of the guest who was hidden here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about. Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. Okay, let's see. Broken lock, there's some wine. I have a feeling about the pile of books. Freya's crippling feed addiction is tearing this family apart. I know. We keep telling her to get help, to like feed in normal, small doses, but she doesn't listen. She just huffs and sniffs and licks toes all day, and we can't stop her. Someone send help. At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially. I wonder what they are. Let's see, the titles read. You can hear her screaming from here. Listen, if she left stream, that's her own fault. I get to talk about her however I want now. The Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Canterbury Yearnings, and A Meal for Gabriel. Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before. Oh my god, wait, those are totally the books that Sosaki-san got during that one case. I remember that! It could just be an incredible coincidence, but they're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day. Oh my god, my brain, my memory, she's smart? Even with no brain cells, she's doing it? What? Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incidents when Miss Green was stabbed. Sasaki-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them. That's right. And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim. Soul-sucky, isn't that Freya? Oh, it's true! You're so right, Snom. I apologize for the mix-up. You are so correct. Yet Mr. Natsume claims never to have been here before. What does this mean, do you think? I really don't know what to make of it. Well, alright, let's present this pile of familiar books. Boom! No comment. Listen, Dig, if we can accept Freya's food addiction, we can accept your soap addiction, I promise. It's okay, you can be yourself with us. This is what Thanksgiving is all about. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books. Quite so. It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth. Ah! Yeah, this is 100% what Thanksgiving is about. Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a second-hand shop. That's just a coincidence! In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment. Oh, he's shaking. He's shaking like Dig when we ask him about his soap. No, never! Non-negotiable! If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. Oh shit, what? Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. The little, like, shadow dance over to the door. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. In short, there is only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in his room last night as a result of poison. And that same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor... God, Runosuke's face! This is so cute. Was you, Mr. Soseki Natsume? Yeah. This concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' great deduction. Wow, we did it! My brain cells worked! They worked so good! Alright. Oh boy, we about to get this man accused of murder again. Elementary. Alright. Not again! Not again! Not again! Not again! Well then, Mr. Natsume. Fuck, I lost his voice. Paka. Spider-Man. Pictures of Spider-Man. Paka! Get me pictures of Spider-Man! It would appear that you're gonna have to accompany down to the yard. Again. But wait! Hold your horses! Yes. Door, key, locked, entry, exit, entirely impossible! He's so flustered he's being even stranger than normal. What? You think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy. What? You live in the same building after all. You'd have had plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. But... Misery me! Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Moustache. You horrible Herlock Sholmes! He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he? Even worse than Moriarty, huh? Come on now, there's no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but... You have to help me, please, please. I'm innocent. Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. And one more thing. Oh, yes? My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me. Aww, of course. The eyebrows. I love doing these emotes. They're so funny and good. They're great. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken. Soseki-san found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. Whoops! My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. Oh boy. Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here, so we can investigate, yay! We can examine the crime scene in more detail now. Yes, that's right. Ah, and of course. What? Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garadeb, who discovered Mr. Shamsphere. Ah, Mr. John Garadeb, yes. I expect we could find him in his sitting room on the top floor as usual. Right, we must remember to go and talk to him later then. Alright. Let's take a look at the corpse. Oh, the poor man. So young to die. Do you suppose it was a very painful death, being poisoned as he was? I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life. Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul? Sorry? I mean, you could try it. I made sure I had a reference at the ready for just such an occasion as this, actually. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. Where did you find this book? I'll just reread it now. One moment. There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's that. The teacup and stuff, the table. Ah, one of the teacups that Mr. Shamspeare and his guests drank from last night. But don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside. I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty. I like that she doesn't trust him not to. That's true. So, one was Mr. Shamspeare's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from. But Saseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these things so we can examine them in more detail later. Alright, pair of teacups entered into the court record. Let me take a closer look at them in our evidence. Oh, we have the book receipt. Nice. What else have we got? Ah, the street map from the other murder the other day. Good to know. And the pair of teacups. Oh, they're all kind of cracked up. Interesting. This must be the cup that Mr. Shamspeare was drinking from then. It's stained on the inside. Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea. It frustrates me so much when I get stains on the inside of my cups and mugs from tea. Because it's just like, no, and I try so hard to clean them. Oh, really? I've never noticed before. You've never noticed? Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it? Oh dear, so many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture. And most of them are Japanese. Oh. Okay. Oh, and I can look inside this one too. Is this going to be the same conversation? This is the teacup from which Mr. Natsume was drinking. Yes, unlike the other one, the inside of the cup is completely clean. That is interesting. I suppose he must have drunk the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark. I always gulp it down too. Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold. Clearly, I shall have to instruct you in the proper way to take tea. You can't fresh it, Rinnosuke. Okay, no tea ring on the inside of Mr. Natsume's cup. Interesting. Anything else of note here that I can find? It does not seem like it, honestly. I think we're good. Alright, back to investigating the room. Let's check out these costumes. They're funky. Look at these extravagant, bright clothes. Somehow they look out of place in this room with its grim, shady goings-ons. This one looks like a king's attire. A king. I've always dreamt of being a king. Oh, Rinnosuke. Oh, I think you'd be more suited to a feudal lord. A daimyo or such like. With a chonmage top knot. Every Japanese man wishes he has a chonmage. Oh, you'd look wonderful with one, and you already have the sword. Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chonmage and a sword? You'd look ridiculous. Let's see, and then this shelf. There's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. And both of them are cracked. Yes, not much use, are they? What's the matter? Have you noticed something, Susato? Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all. Oh, yeah! Prosecutor Lord von Zeeks. Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste, and that he should donate some to the needy. Aw, that'd be nice. You can suggest it next time we meet. I would love to see her do that. Please do, Susato. Okay. Oh yes, and there's this mark on the floor. Oh, what's this? It looks like part of an envelope, I think. Oh, interesting. Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened. Is this significant? Maybe. You never know. It's a little out of place, perhaps. When you look around the room, there's no sign of a letter or the rest of the envelope, in fact, is there? Ah, she's right. And yet here we have the torn off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual. Me too. I agree. We'd better take this just in case. Alright, torn off end of the envelope. Let's see. What else is there to look at here? Oh, the window? As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax that Britons had to pay. What strange things they used to tax in Great Britain. I still can't believe the window tax is real. Messed up. Oh, and have a good night, Marcia. It was good to see you. Sleep well and sleep sweet dreams. Thank you for dropping by. Bye-bye. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property. It's extraordinary. It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh, what is it, Miss Susato? If you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, some of them look different. What the hell? Oh yes, it looks as though the amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamspeare who did it, I wonder? Before we the lodger renting this room. Why is there soap there? Oh, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it. What, outside? What the fuck? Okay, let's give it another look. Brr, it's so cold outside, you can feel it through this gap. It did snow all last night, it would be cold. But more importantly, what is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps? It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I have no idea. But the pair of them look rather charming like that. Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window. I think perhaps we should take one. There are two after all. Oh dear, I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at this soap. Ah, is there something on it? Do you see it in the middle there? There's a patch that's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain. Is there something hidden in the soap? It looks like the Hinomaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful! It's probably a very expensive brand. Expensive? Then what's it doing in this ramshackle old room? Huh, weird. I guess let's take a closer look at that soap in the court record, because that is very, very strange. Oh, we should also check the envelope. Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they? Yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. Quality soap for eating! Yes, so true. You need the best kind. Dick would know. And judging from the angle of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed. Miss Susato. I think perhaps someone's been reading too much of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. You can never read too much of it, Mr. Naruhodo. Never! She's so cute. Let's see. Anything else of note about this? Does not seem like it, not at the moment at least. Let's take a closer look at this soap. This part is a different color. It's an exquisite design, isn't it? Trust the British to turn a boring bar of soap into something special. I quite like it. It reminds me of the Hinomaru design of the Japanese flag. I expect this is rather expensive soap. That doesn't seem likely given who it belongs to. I guess then if they're not pointing it out, maybe it really is just more soap? That's so odd though. Interesting. Whoops. Alright, let's see here. What is this little thing? A lock! And here we have another disproportionately large machine. This looks like a meter of some kind. Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It's seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins. J-Bomb, hello! How are you doing? It's a bar soap. I can see how that'd be a mysterious item to a lot of gamers. So true. Somebody show it to Smash players. I think they need to learn about it. Ah, I see. Yes, now that you've pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. Okay, interesting. So you mean if you put a coin in here... J-Bomb!
Happy Big Friday, everybody.
Thank you so much for the bits, J-Bomb. I really appreciate that. Happy Big Friday to you, too! I hope you're doing well. I hope you've been having a good weekend already. All right. That's right. That would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating. So, if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold? Yes. Or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank. Oh, that'd be such a pain. Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. You're doing well, let's get solving? Yeah, we're working on this mystery. We have a guy who's been poisoned. Sholmes thought he was poisoned by soap, but we helped Sholmes realize he was probably poisoned by tea. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Yeah, that's what I thought. Inspector Gregson, back so soon. After I threw that little Japanese fellow on the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, we'd better be leaving then. At least we gotta take a look around first. Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low, being back in a cell again so soon. I'm sure. What the fuck?! We should probably go and... What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? What the fuck? He's alive?! Out a brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player. That struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Hello? Now, how soundeth the next part? What the fuck? It is a tale, told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed! Oh, happy day! Shamsphere! Walking Dead! What the fuck is going on? Hello? Hello? The fella isn't dead at all? What was that nonsense he was saying, though? Yeah, what the hell? It's quite the pose. I'm just like, what is going on? I think, yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5. Shakespeare. Macbeth is really good. I like Macbeth a lot. Hamlet's great, too. So it was the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment, and Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime, whatever that now was. What the hell? What's going on? I'm in shock. Oh, there's a weird looking dude over there. Who's that? Whatever do you think will happen now? A good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume, arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life. I think perhaps... You're mine! You're mine! Hello, Sal, how are you doing? It's good to see you! Happy Thanksgiving weekend. If you celebrate where you live, I hope you've had a nice time. I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison, as we deduced. Yeah, I guess so. They all saw a man passed out and went, well, must be dead. Yeah, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. So true. That is the more important thing to think about here. Celebrate all your Indigenous friends, family, neighbors. They all deserve it. They've been through a lot. But was it an accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody. You came at a heck of a time, Zal. We thought we were investigating a dude murdered by poison, but then he got up and walked around and did a soliloquy from Shakespeare, and we were like, I guess he's not dead after all? Wild. I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh, what's this? Are we noticing this dude? Yeah, I was wondering about him. What's that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to see into Sasaki-san's lodgings. Sus. That's sus. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Excuse me, could we have a word? Oh. Ah. Oh, huh? He just ran off. He's fucking gone. Okay. I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it? I do too, but I don't remember. I'm not sure if I recognize him. Weird. I guess let's take a look at this soap from outside. With the exception of the top floor where Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb live, all the windows are bricked up. Yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows the property had. In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in many of their windows. I can't believe that's real history. That's ridiculous. But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened again, surely. All bricked up! Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done. Yes, that is a sad state of affairs. Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room. I suppose that's the price you pay for living in very cheap accommodation. It's not safe, that's a fire hazard! It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that. Let's see. Let's check, is this bike relevant today? It wasn't last case, but I was always wondering about it. There always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garadeb residence. I have read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact. That one seems very warped, though, especially the front wheel. Yeah, it kind of looks like they ran into something. Is that to make it more of a challenge to ride, do you think? No, I'm afraid that may be the result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid the rider may have been similarly afflicted. What's the time on this game? Do you mean like the time period it takes place in? Or like how long I've played it for in total? Then there's a good chance Mr. Natsume has been practicing on this bicycle, I think. Time period, I believe? Let me just double check. Let's see. Alright, it would be, yes, late 1800s. I wanted to make sure I got that right. Oh dear, I fear you may be right. No problem, I'm happy to answer. It's interesting to know, it's like a very interesting time period to be in. Especially for a game like this. I kind of like that we're working with like, you know, old methods of like deducing crimes. London's blanketed in fog again today and the sky is covered in cloud. But if you look carefully in the distance, you can just make out the crystal tower being built. Gratia! Edging. Ah, the crystal tower, yes. The centerpiece of the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Everyone's talking about the great exhibition of London at the moment, it seems. Well, it's to be the largest event of its kind anywhere in the world, with technology and scientists from all over. I can't wait for it myself. God, I hope we get to go to the Crystal Tower. Do you think visiting students from the Far East like us will be granted entry? The last great exhibition that was held in London had more than 6 million visitors, it would seem. Well, that's so many. And this time, the British are determined to make it an even bigger success, to outdo the Paris Exposition. I see. That's an incredible number of people. And with so many people expected to attend, we should easily be able to slip in unnoticed. There's always the honest approach of buying tickets at the main entrance, Mr. Naruhodo. No, let him commit crime. He wants to. Why has somebody built this snowman on some sort of pedestal, do you think? That's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruhodo. That's part of the snowman's body. Really? But it already has a perfectly good body. Well, it's true that British snowmen are usually made with 2 balls of snow. Perhaps this is a foreigner. And now we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man, I know how he feels. Aww! If anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it? After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs. Do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much? She can't help it. It's funny, I was always wondering what they meant by pedestal, but now that I look at it, I'm like, oh, yeah, they haven't realized that, like, the 3rd part is not a pedestal, that's, like, part of the snowman body. Now I get it. Okay, it doesn't look like there's much else to examine over here, so I know the front door was examinable. The Garadeb house and Mr. Natsume's lodging are in a prominent position there on the corner. Sometimes when I look at the building, I can't help feeling that it's a bit of a slant. It does rather look as though it would collapse even in the smallest earthquake, doesn't it? Oh yeah, you can totally see the slant there, can't you? Oof. And isn't it supposed to be haunted as well? I think I might have a hunch as to why Soseki-san has such a hunched back. Alright. I think I'm done examining out here. I guess let's move. We gotta go talk to Mr. Garadeb and go to the prison. Alright. Let's go see Mr. Garadeb first. I think that makes the most sense, and then we'll go visit the prison. Alright, the Garadeb's room. Here we are again, the eccentric landlord's eccentric top-floor abode. We're here because Mr. Garadeb's the one who discovered the incident this morning, don't forget. Ah, you chaps, eh? Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday. It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Garadeb as anyone, really. Yeah, because that trial was the one where his wife got arrested. It was found that she, you know, not intentionally, but by throwing the knife out the window, accidentally stabbed Miss Green. That was wild. Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more bally nonsense this morning. Now, this poor guy. I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Garadeb. Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room. Those were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they? Alright. Tell us all about it, sir. This morning's incident. It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you've discovered what had happened. Ah, well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but no bally answer. And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door. Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course. Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept by half an hour. That's very true, Mr. Naruhodo. If 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door down every morning. Well, you know, better to be safe than sorry and all that. Why are you sweating? What are you sweating for? Is it just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden? Did you have some extra reason? Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door. Suspicious. Very sus, if I do say so myself. The victim's name is Mr. Shamspear, I believe. Is that right? Yes, William Shakespeare took the ground floor room 3 months ago now. And how would you describe him? In a word, destitute. Destitute? Ooh, that's a little rough. I mean, it's true, but well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has a bally screw loose. You're the one renting it out! So hard to choose which category Soseki-san would fall into. Mr. Naruhodo, that's a little rude. He was doing research as well. Research? Into what? Shakespeare, of course, Shakespeare. Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know, Romeo and Hamlet and all that. I want to read Romeo and Hamlet. What would that be like? Yes, William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao in Japanese, as you know, and many of his works have already been translated. It seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Someone was too heavy-handed there. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there? Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shamsui would have had much in common. Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope it's not that. They got too heated. Mr. Naruhodo, really, how rude. I like that she can read our thoughts and just tell from looking at Ryunosuke when he's thinking something rude and calls him out on it. It's too good. After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning? Well now, must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily as I remember, and it was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was out at the time. Mr. Gardup noticed there was no light from his room or something, I suppose. No, he wouldn't have been able... not at least from outside. Maybe from inside you could see through the door cracks, but... Couldn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shamspeare got back. And the chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. I suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there. Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Is everything alright, Miss Susato? Well, I was just thinking that it's a little strange, that's all. Ooh, what do you think is strange? I'm gonna feel so proud if she's noticed the same thing I did. Mr. Garadeb, you were up here in your room all evening, if I've understood correctly. Not a big fan of stairs. Not with this blasted leg. Your new son? Oh, no, I didn't. I haven't had a chance. Oh, wait, I know I did have a pin in the Discord. Was that him? Maybe, let me go look. Let me go check real quick. Let me see. He's so cute, Snom! He's so cute! Oh my god, I love him! I love him, Snom! Thank you for showing me him. He's so cute. Oh, it looks so huggable. I love it. That's so good. Thank you. He's so cute. His name is Flippy. That's so cute. You have great naming sense, Snom. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for telling me. Feel free to keep sharing any updates about him or his life, his adventures. I will always be happy to hear. Snom's got a super cute little plushie, a little shrimp plushie. It's so cute. Snom posted it in the Prismaria Discord. It's so good. Then, how is it that you seem to know? Oh, that's true. If he lives on the top floor and the actor lives on the bottom floor, or like a lower floor, it would be hard to know. The precise movements of your tenant on the ground floor, I mean. It should be in Snack's server too? Perfect. Nice. Ah! That's a very good point. I can't imagine that you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it? I say, I know what you're thinking, and it's a bully outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I? And how'd you know? Then how did you know, Mr. Garnett? It's the gas, woman. The gas tells me everything. The gas? Oh, does he always keep the gas on until he goes to bed? What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you anything, let alone everything? Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes. Yes, I'd more or less worked that out. Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. All the gas companies supplies gas to the properties via the main. Yes, I understand that too. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose would happen? Well, obviously the room would get brighter. Exactly, but at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment. Oh, interesting. That does make sense. You always leave the stone on at night, helps you fall asleep. Snom, no! One day Snom's gonna just stop appearing at streams. We're all gonna be like, oh no, the oven got Snom, no! What? They dim, why? Because the flow of the gas is changing. Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual. And that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mightn't it? Yes, of course, because everything's connected to a single supply pipe. Is that supposed to happen, though? It sounds rather undesirable. Light a few candles after to help with the mood? No! J-Bomb, no! You can't tell Snom this! No! Oh no! Jolly good point. Fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless. Lawnmower net. Never got any gas in them to start with. Opposite's also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here and they grow brighter in the rest of the house. Oh, right, I see. So by watching the flickering of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. You've got it. Well, of course, because when people come back home in the evening, and before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires. That does make sense. Clever. In point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it use slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house. Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Gardev. Absolutely fascinating! That is smart. I like that they thought of that. Oh, well, nothing to it, really. And I can't really see that it's going to help us with the case either. What I'd like to know is why Mr. Gardev is so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. Nosy old man. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. I wonder... Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again. I think so, too. A good idea. All right. Let's move over to the prison. Oh god, he's sulking, he's pouting, he's in the corner, he's looking at the wall. He'll never recover from this. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. He is quite pathetic, is he not? Like an animal in a cage. We're not passing go or collecting $200. So true, J-Bomb. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now? Look comes to it, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Oh, yes? What is he? Tell me. Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me? Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Shams? No, I think he's talking about Mr. Shamspear, who came back from the dead. He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume. Not a ghost. But his diabolic deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Ah, cursed. I'm cursed, I tell you. Well, that sort of hurts. Credit to where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the deduction, too. Yes. Moving on, we have some wonderful news. Oh? The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again. Yay! I don't think he likes that. Now, in the absolute worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. Yay! That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume? It's terrible! Oh, I'm stuck in a cell, suffering for some silly run end of the stick. You did it, didn't you? Confess, you're a killer. Why the mustache? Constant questions. I'm so sorry to hear that. Ugh, that selfish shyster. Make up your mind. Are you dead or alive? If you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? Wickedly wishy-washy, William. Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspear was never actually dead in the first place. Ah, yes, that might make sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last. Well, were you guys bros? Oh. Oops. Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you? I'm not saying another word. I demand to have a lawyer present. Okay, I'm present. Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story. Ugh, why am I cursed like this? Mr. Hampter! Oh, I love the Aiba emote! Oh, so good. I love Aiba. What a good girl. Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume? There's nothing to tell, but Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me with that accursed case yesterday. The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back. It's hard to believe that it was only yesterday. After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings. And that evening at past 9 it must have been, I visited Mr. Shamspear. So, you did go to the victim's room then? Oh boy. As we feared. Yeah, this ain't looking good for you. I didn't do anything wrong! I'd never been to his room before. It was the first time. Then, what made you decide to go? I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and it developed into a discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell. That ties in with what Mr. Garadeb said, that the victim went out and came back after 8. Okay, so we have some extra confirmation on that. Good to know. We met again later that evening at around 9 or just after, when I took him some nice tea I'd brewed as a gift. Oh, that's nice of you! So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then. And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you? Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet! Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate. Is this like... who could beat Goku? Yeah, very proper English thing to do. So true. Have some tea and debate Shakespeare. I'm sure... Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare! And the debate became very heated. So you slipped poison into Mr. Shamspear's tea? No! Never! Not at all! Team Juliet won! That was me! And when I left his room... I want to know, like, the specifics of this debate. Was, like, what does he mean? Who's the stronger? What basis did Juliet win on? I want to know. The flamboyant fellow was fighting fit. I swear it categorically. Interesting. Well, let's talk about your cursed existence. Saseki is a member of the Genie Force for sure. Definitely. Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence. I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in that time I've learned that it's no place for me. It's just funny to think about how Saseki Natsume was a real person who really did have a terrible time living in Britain. And now he's just in this game being written like this. Wild. And his family approved it. It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture. There are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me. They all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Oh yeah, that is rough. That's very tough. It's hard to feel so out of place in a country that isn't your own. Which is why I've become a recluse, but even in my room I find no respite from my fears. I've moved more times than I can remember, and then 1 week ago I moved into Briar Road. Damn, you've only been here for a week and this has happened? I'm so sorry, dude. But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable. Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money, it spoke to me. That's fair. That's very fair. Live where you can afford. The rent. Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed. Cursed? Cursed how? I mean, I just think the fact that the room kind of sucks would be enough for it to be cheap. The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died there. Oh no! He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why. I wonder if that, something about this man, is maybe what troubled Sasato's dad? When he heard this story, I don't know. Something about the affordability of this rent really speaks to me. Been there. I feel that, Shaybomb. I feel it. Ah. It is a cursed existence, living in places that are not great just because you cannot afford much more. That's rough. Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that. Sad. I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. A horrible history is a small price to pay. Oh man. He loves his books more than anything, I guess. When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning. Like Lightning McQueen. Brave or blinkered. But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I'd done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was. Gosh, was it really so awful? I'm very curious about the circumstances of this death. Can we ask about it? Yes! Okay, nice! I want to learn more about it. How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened? At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me. Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to find a Shakespeare fan in England in the 1800s, it's true. They would be like everywhere. It'd be like finding a Marvel fan now. Do you think that might just have been your mind playing tricks on you? No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. I don't know, you seem like the kind of guy whose mind would play a lot of tricks on him. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place. A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean? All the souls who died in that room lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me. Oh my goodness. That really is horrible. And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. Oh, sounds like it could be relevant. The very same night that Mr. Shamspeare was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room. You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible. Yes, you're right, I know it, and that's why. I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home. Oh boy. I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history. God, it's funny. I found this website the other day that you could use to look up if different addresses have like kind of like a fucked up history, you know, if any crimes were committed there. And it's funny because like this listings go from just like, oh, somebody grew marijuana in this house, and then like you'll go right down to the next listing for the area, and it'll be like a horrible like murder and dismemberment was committed here, and here are all the graphic details of how it was happened and when and to who. And it's like, oh my god, okay. But it is nice that you can check that stuff. I want to think that I don't particularly mind that stuff, but I feel like knowing all the details would really get to me, you know? It'd be a bit scary. But sometimes if you see a place that's listed for super, super cheap rent, you can look it up there and suddenly understand why. Oh. Susato-san knows how to make the man listen. Thank you, Susato-san. So helpful, such a good judicial assistant. Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well. Mr. Gardeb is? Yeah, you mean Mr. Gardeb? A million of bacteria die every day around you. Being surrounded by death is just a fact of life. Not the dismemberment. Yeah, like, I'm not even exaggerating. It was like a very detailed account of a dismemberment murder that happened. It was fucked up, and I was like, okay, well, I was just looking at this site for fun, but I'm definitely never living here even if I have the chance. And the marshmallow known as Keen, hello! Thank you so much for the follow! I appreciate it very, very much! I hope you're doing well tonight. Nice to meet you. I hope you're enjoying the stream. And I hope you're also enjoying your Thanksgiving weekend if you celebrate. I am enjoying some Ace Attorney. Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again. Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place. That is true. Ah, perhaps. That may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenant's movements. Oh yeah, that would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of things check out. So smart, Susato. You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let rooms. What do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps? Oh dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please forget I said anything. Yeah, it's not quite ethical either way, so I don't know. Should we tell him or not? I'm not sure which would be better. Oof. Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well. What's important is that Mr. Shamsphere isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come around and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released. Yeah, it'll definitely be that easy, for sure. No trial needed, right? Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right. Ahem, excuse me. Oh, Gregson! Inspector Gregson! I couldn't help overhearing what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news. Oh, which do you want first? Always, every time, the bad news comes first. But hope is all you have. Hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. How about you guys? When you have to choose between hearing good news or bad news first, which do you pick? I usually want to hear the bad news first. Because I want to get it out of the way, and it'll make me more anxious, and I won't be able to enjoy the good news if I'm thinking about what the bad news is. Yeah, bad news as well, Mr. No Legs. I get that. Always with the bad news? Do you guys have the same sort of reasoning I do, or do you have, like, different reasons for that? I'm kind of curious, especially because the first game in Great Ace Attorney, like, brought that up, and they were like, hey, this is, like, an interesting kind of judge, or, like, way to measure somebody's personality. Good news first from Marshmallow known as Kin? That's fair. I also see why you'd want to hear the good stuff first, to kind of soften the blow of the bad news. But yeah, same. I'm just like, I'm a very anxious, nervous person myself, so, like, wondering what the bad news is makes me very, very nervous. Bad news to then see if the good news does anything to level it out. Don't want to get your hopes up to be crushed. That's very valid. It's an interesting question. I think it does say a lot about, like, how people kind of deal with things by how they, like, you know, what they want and why when it comes to good news or bad news. Right, well, in that case, the good news it is. Huh? Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way. Then why did you ask me my preference? Yeah, come on, Gregson. It's kind of dickish of you. What the heck? As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shamsfield, is just unconscious. He's come round now. Yes, we saw it happen in all its terrifying glory. Yeah, it was fucked up, but it freaked me out a little. He's still being treated by the doctors, but we've managed to get a written statement from him already. Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume? Oh, thank goodness, it's all over then. I can leave this somber cell. Oh no, he's accused you of murder, hasn't he? I'm so sorry, Mr. Natsume. Oh, you enjoyed Thanksgiving, then worked Black Friday, so he was called... Oh, I'm so sorry, Kane. That sucks so bad. Do you work retail then? That is absolutely the worst. People are horrible in retail. Like, genuinely it makes me mad. It's part of the reason I really go out of my way to try and be nice to retail workers no matter what. Because I know, especially from having worked retail jobs myself and like cashier jobs, that these people are usually just doing the best they can. You know? It's like there's no reason to go in there and be rude or be a Karen about it. It makes me so upset when people do that. Yeah, do not demand a service and then disrespect those who provide it. So true, J-Bomb. Like, I feel like I shouldn't get as mad as I do about it, but God, it makes me annoyed because it's so rude. These people are just trying to earn their wages. Come on. Yeah, Black Friday flips the switch, I feel that. That's kind of why, as much as I like the idea of getting Black Friday deals, I don't really go shopping on Black Friday because I'm like, those retail workers are already dealing with so much. I don't want to be there and add an extra work to their load sometimes, you know? But I'm glad it was overall a good day. I hope my stream has been nice to wind down to so far. That's true, yeah. Retail people deserve way more respect than they get. And there are so many people in retail. And like, retail's a hard job. You have to do a lot. You have to really like control your emotions during it too. Customer service forces you to be so on and so cheerful the whole time. And you have to do all the cleaning. You have to do the store setup. You open and close early and late. Like, it's hard work. And yeah, your name is great, Marshmallow King. It's so good. I love it a lot. Oh, but yeah. That is my little rant for the day, is you should respect retail workers. They do a lot of work, and it's very hard work, and honestly, they deserve to be paid more than minimum wage for what they do. That is my hot take. I think the only, you know, that like, people really devalue them for how much work they do. Well, that's just me. Sorry, no. That's not on the cards. What? Why ever not, Inspector? Mr. Shamspeare has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night. Implicated someone? Uh-oh. Oh dear. You don't mean... I'm sorry, I say I do, yes. He's pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. Ah! By sweet poison did he seeketh to end my life. Oh, thank you for the thirsty redeem, J-Bomb. Let me have a sip of my water. That does feel nice, thank you. Yeah, to the health of you and yours. Cheers! That wicked caitiff, Soseki Natsume. No! So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations. No! Oh, this poor man. And so, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dog in the Old Bailey. He didn't even get a full day off! Whether his room was haunted, or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court, and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. So dramatic. Wow! So dramatic, Rinosuke. I just can't believe this happened to Soseki, literally not even a day later. Absolutely awful. This poor guy. It's kind of hilarious, just how awful and fucked his luck is. Alright though, so since we hit a to be continued and the next portion is sure to be lengthy, I think we will wrap up stream here. Alright. Thank you guys so much for following. I already know who we're going to raid. I think we're going to raid our good friend Freya, who's another member of my stream group Prismaria, because she is playing Resident Evil 8 tonight, and she's a huge coward. She's a huge coward, so it's going to be so funny to watch her try and play it, because she's going to be so scared of literally everything that happens in the game. I know last time, oh yes, she's in call, so maybe after I get offline, I'm gonna also go hop into her stream on voice and hang out with her and laugh at her for being afraid. So, that's what I'd like to do. I'm considering doing a soap eating raid, but do you guys have any other ideas? I would be happy to hear any other suggestions. And thank you guys so much for coming by. It was super fun. I appreciate you guys coming by, even though I know that for a lot of you this is a very important family weekend. So I know it's not exactly like, you know, an ideal weekend for watching streams in a lot of ways, but I still appreciate you guys turning out anyways. It was super fun to hang out with you and chat with you about everything. Nope, no other ideas? Perfect. Then I will do... Here, I'll do a non-subscribers version of the raid message first. So here we go, soap eating raid. And then we'll do, for subscribers, we will do this message. So feel free to drop that into Freya's chat. Please go show her your support and love. Say hello to her for me. I will be back tomorrow night streaming again. I'll be streaming with Freya as well. We will hopefully be finishing off the gothic romance visual novel, The House in Fata Morgana. It'll be a very fun time, so I hope to see you guys there if you can be. But otherwise, thank you so much for coming, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. It was so good to spend it with you guys, and I hope you have a great time. Thank you so much, and goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye!